Skin cleansing. Hello, invisible friends. I am Logo, and I want to share with you my positive experience in cleansing the skin with the techniques that I consider easiest and most effective. The most common thing when thinking about the skin is a merely superficial view. It is not usual to think about how complex and intricate the skin is, all its functions, and how it is composed. The skin is not only the layer that isolates us from the outside world and gives us sensations such as pressure, temperature, and perceptions such as pain and pleasure. The skin is also responsible for regulating body temperature by evaporating sweat, etc. We overlook the fact that it is the largest organ in the human body, and through its sweat and fat glands, we also eliminate all kinds of toxins, including urea and ammonium. If we think about it, we eliminate toxins in parallel as the urinary system does. But unlike the one that eliminates more volume by a point, through the skin almost imperceptibly we usually eliminate significant amounts of toxins. We only notice it when we do physical activities and sweat profusely. That's when the body gets rid of these substances more easily. Taking care of and understanding all the functions of the skin can help us to have a healthier life organically. It's not just the kidneys that do the work. I will teach you the 3 methods that I consider the most powerful and effective to eliminate toxins in the skin. And the use of these methods in sequence increases their effectiveness by helping us improve our health more deeply. And that is more noticeable when we are weaker, since every step we take to improve is a healthier step. The techniques are body rubbing, sauna or steam, and the use of clay. Prior to the therapy, we must take a complete shower, washing our whole body as best as possible. Preferably, we will use neutral soaps and shampoo, avoiding strong aromas. We are going to rinse very well, so as not to leave residues of those products. Rubbing. To apply this method, a white cotton cloth of approximately 10 by 10 inches should be used. It should be comfortable for the dimension of your hand and should be small to squeeze efficiently. We will also need a container such as a bowl, where we will rinse and squeeze the cloth until it is only damp. The bowl should be placed with warm water. Cold water should not be used, as it would close the pores. It is best to have someone else apply the treatment so we can be more relaxed. There are also parts of our body that are not easily accessible, such as the back. Rubbing should be applied energetically or with spirit without overdoing it. It is not an act of force. And everyone has different skin. Some have delicate skin, so let's use common sense to do no harm. We must rinse the cloth when we finish rubbing each part of the body and repeat this process at least 3 times. Example: rub the arm, then rinse the towel that is wet again. Rinse again in the bowl, squeeze and rub again. After each rinse and rub, we will see how the water will become cloudier until it finishes rubbing the entire body. I recommend changing the water gradually. Cloudy water is a combination of toxic substances, hard fats, and dead skin. Dead skin decreases the body's breathability, is an imperceptible process, but it is happening all the time. We realize this when we overtan in the sun, and when we sweat, we generate sweat bubbles under the skin. That is, the process of eliminating substances is being blocked. The process starts with the face, head, and neck, then goes down to the shoulders, arms, and hands, then the torso and back, and ends in the legs and feet. It is important to repeat as many times as necessary the rinsing and squeezing of the towel to keep it as clean as possible, and change the water in the bowl as many times as necessary or on a regular basis. The benefits of rubbing are not only felt on the skin, it also activates blood circulation, making it easier for oxygen to reach the peripheries, and the lymphatic system is also stimulated, which strengthens the immune system. The sauna or steam bath is a little more powerful in stimulating sweating and more abundant than the steam because it is a dry environment and thus forces the increase of sweat. The steam, being more humid, is more moderate in the process of eliminating toxins. It is also important to consider the tolerance and sensitivity that can be had in these environments. Steam may be more convenient for people with weaknesses. Ideally, consult with your doctor, as it is important to understand how long we should be exposed. It is advisable to leave the treatment once we feel our sweating is active. Then we must take a shower to cool off and regulate the temperature. The times can be short, so we can repeat the procedure 3 times. Remember to stay well hydrated and under supervision. Warning: weak people should never go through these processes alone. There are studies that reveal that the load in the sweat of urea and ammonium, among other toxins and hard fats accumulated in the pores in these treatments, is significant. It also activates blood circulation by dilation, making it easier for oxygen to reach the skin through the capillaries, making it healthier. By spending less effort on repairing the skin, our body will be able to allocate more resources to other processes, increasing vitality. Clay bath. This is the last treatment that I personally recommend as a closing of the sequence of treatments to cleanse our skin and body. The most important thing is to buy a clay that is certified for human consumption. It's a fancy way of saying it's pollutant-free. It is not difficult to acquire a clay that is not contaminated with heavy metals, other contaminants, or even parasites. Let me explain: the sludge that is found in rivers, because it is exposed in nature. We cannot control if animals have evacuated in those waters. This could be one type of contamination. Another type can be clay beds on lower ground in an area of industrial use. We do not know if something could have contaminated it. Clays found in geographical cuts or slopes are unlikely to have such contamination. The only thing they can have are small stones, which can be easily removed. The clay used by potters is fine, as it is used to make handmade glasses and cups to consume our tea or coffee. Therefore, it must be free of toxic substances. Always ask before you buy. The treatment is nothing more than applying a layer of clay all over our body. To do this, we must dissolve it a little with water so that it will be like a mask all over the skin. The layer doesn't need to be thick. To apply the treatment, it is applied to the body like a mask. So as not to make a mess, you can place a plastic as a bed cover, stretcher, or a mat on the floor if that is what we have. Once the clay has been applied, we go to bed. Being the clay fresh, we should preferably cover with paper over the clay and even place a towel on top of it to maintain and increase body heat. Avoiding a cold due to thermal changes. That way you wait X amount of time for the detoxification power to be effective. If you do this in the shower, I recommend placing a punch bowl to retain the heavier particles of the clay and prevent any possible clogging of the drain. The clay taken. There are several types of clays for human consumption that can be purchased in health food stores. Clay is not soil or soil, not to be confused. It does not have any strong flavor. Basically, the process consists of diluting a teaspoon of clay in a glass of water and drinking it. Taking clay is recommended for 1 to 2 glasses for 3 weeks and resting for 2 or 3 weeks. This would be a protocol to detoxify the body of substances as toxic as heavy metals. It is a process that goes beyond the digestive system, being able to travel in the blood minerals and compounds with the ability to trap and extract these poisonous compounds. If we don't want to use it in a detox protocol, it's not bad to have a glass a couple of times a week. I have left you the link in the description of clays that you can buy. An impressive and notorious example in the wild is to see macaws eat seeds that are toxic and would die in a short time. But these birds, to nullify the effect of the poison, also eat clay. That's how powerful the absorption capacity of clay is. Part of the secret of clay is the amount of negative polarity charges in its chemistry that make it possible to trap elements that the body hardly expels on its own. Once they combine with clay, and their minerals can be eliminated even in the urine. These treatments are not magical. They are processes that gradually improve us. Another important point is the level and type of toxin we have in the body. For example, lead lodged in bones is more difficult to remove than lead found in blood. Maybe one day it will be advisable to take clay after eating tuna. The chance of absorbing some heavy metals accumulated in your flesh is much lower. The body is designed to repair itself. If we help it in the process, I think it would be better. Consult with your trusted specialist. You are the first ones who have to become aware of your health and how the human body works. My experience was very positive. I hope you take advantage of this information. Every step is important to make a journey. Friends, remember that I'm telling you about my experiences, so ask your doctor or trusted specialist about it. It is your decision to take the steps to move forward. If you liked the video and want to help spread the word, remember to click on the bell and subscribe to receive more information like this. Remember that step by step we can improve. The worst thing is to do nothing. Invisible friends, we see ourselves in the mirror